Alright, here we are back for a Week 17 predictions video. I know I haven't done one of these in a few weeks. Appreciate Savon knocking one out. I think it was last week he did it. A lot of massive games. You know, Week 17 is always an interesting week for the playoffs and, you know, the playoff scenario and things like that. But we've got like 4 different games going on that's going to be deciding the division between those two, and a few other different scenarios. I'm going to run through the playoff scenarios as well as all the predictions, everything like that. We're going to start off like we do every single video with our players of the week. On the NFC side, Raheem Mostert continues to dominate. 30 carries, 199 yards, 5 catches, 80 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he did get in the end zone just through the air. The NFC Defensive Player of the Week was Shaq Griffin, the cornerback, with 3 tackles, 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and 2 touchdowns. So really outstanding numbers. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Tua Tagovailoa, continues his MVP march with 18 of 22, 411 yards, 5 passing touchdowns, only threw a pick. Also ran for for a touchdown. Earl Thomas continues to try to earn that paycheck, as Quick said himself, with 9 tackles, 3 picks, and a touchdown. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. Alright, for the yearly awards, for the NFL MVP, Tua Tagovailoa leads the way heading into Week 17, followed by Raheem Mostert and Melvin Gordon of the Broncos. The let's see here. The coach of the year to this point is Lil C with the 14-2 Bears, followed by Coach Big Drip of the Dolphins at 13-2, and Jay Parker of the Bills at 14-1. The AFC Offensive Player of the Year to this point is Tua Tagovailoa, followed by Melvin Gordon and Preston Williams as wide receiver. Defensive Player of the Year is Jerome Baker, followed by Brandon Jones and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tua Tagovailoa, Henry Ruggs, and Laviska Shenault. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Brandon Jones, Malik Harrison, and Ashton Davis, safety for the Jets. Best QB, Tua. Best running back, Melvin Gordon. Best wide receiver, Preston Williams. Best offensive line, Ronnie Stanley. Best defensive line, Melvin Ingram. Best linebacker, Jerome Baker. Best defensive back, Brandon Jones. Best kicker, Brandon McManus. For the NFC side, Offensive Player of the Year, Raheem Mostert leads the way, followed by Darnell Mooney and Dalvin Cook. The Defensive Player of the Year, Javelin, I think is how you say that, Guidry. He is a cornerback for the Bears, followed by Roquan Smith and Isaiah Simmons. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Darnell Mooney, followed by Chris Claybrooks and Cam Akers. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Guidry, Isaiah Simmons, and Jalen Johnson. Best QB, Dwayne Haskins. That's a big surprise there, followed by A-Rod. Best running back, Raheem Mostert. Best wide receiver is Darnell Mooney. Best offensive line, Saints lead the way, Armstead and Ramchick. Best defensive line, Yannick Ngakoue leads the way. Best linebacker, Roquan Smith, with Khalil Mack right behind him. Best defensive back, Guidry, with Chidobe Awuzie right behind him. And best kicker, Will Lutz leads the way. 2 Lions kickers in there somehow, Brett Maher and Matt Prater. I am just ridiculously curious. I've never seen anything like that. I need to go see this. Let's see. Kicking. I don't know why Maher's in there. He's 1 of 1 on field goals. Prater's 11 of 12. So I guess percentage has a lot to do with it. That's a little disappointing. Anyway, let's go see the. Let's do the playoff scenario first, because when I get into my predictions, I don't have to double explain why each game is so important, so on and so forth. So we're going to start off with the NFC side. The Saints. I don't know why it's not right. Okay, yeah, Saints are 13-2. The Saints, if they win, they clinch the 1 seed. If they lose and the Bears win, they clinch the 2 seed. The Bears did win, so if the Saints win, they'll be the 1. If they lose, they'll be the 2. Bears, basically the same situation. They need the Saints to lose. They'll take the 1. Otherwise, they'll be the 2. Falcons are locked into the wild card number 5 seed, the first wild card slot. The Redskins down here have clinched their division as well. They are locked in at the 4 spot. So they'll be facing off with the Falcons in the first round. Skins and Falcons. It should be an interesting matchup. All 3 of these teams in that division 7-8 as well, but they lost the tiebreakers when I put them together for the division. Now the NFC West is the shit show of the day. The Seahawks lead the division. They win and they clinch the 3 seed. They lose and they clinch the 6 seed. This is because the Cardinals and Rams, both 9-6 as well, also play each other. So the winner of this game is going to be 10-6, and the Seahawks, if they're 10-6, will win the division because they have a tiebreaker over both of them. If the Seahawks lose, then the winner of this game will win the division. Now, the interesting part about it is that the winner of the division is going to play the winner of this game, unless it's the winner of that, if that makes sense. So let's assume that the Seahawks were to win. They're playing the 49ers, so they should win. He would be 10-6. He'd win the division, and the winner of this game would be the 6th seed, and the loser would be the 7th seed. The Rams, they win and the Seahawks lose, they clinch the 3. They win and the Seahawks win, they clinch the 6. They lose and they clinch the 7th seed. Cardinals, the same exact situation. Win and Seahawks lose, they clinch the 3. Win and Seahawks win, they clinch the 6. Lose and clinch the 7. So the Seahawks are in the driver's seat of this division. Let's go to the AFC. Not near as complicated at all. The Bills win and they clinch the 1 seed. If they lose, they're playing the Dolphins. They will get the 5 seed, the first wildcard spot. So they're playing for the division here. Next, you have the Broncos. They win and they clinch the 2 seed. They did win their game, so let me go ahead and adjust my little tracker on my phone. They are locked into the 2 seed. Alright, so the winner of the Bengals and Ravens is going to lock themselves into the 3 seed. The loser is going to be the 6 seed because the 5 seed is already locked up, as we said, by one of these two teams. So the loser of this game is going to lock himself into the 6th seed. The Titans and the Bengals, the Titans and Texans are in a similar situation. The winner of this game is going to be the 4 seed. It's a little different. If the Titans were to lose the game, they would still get in the playoffs as the number 7 seed. The Texans are slightly behind them because of this tie that they have. If the Texans lose, they go home. So they either win the division or they go home. There's nothing in between. They can't get a wild card spot. Chiefs and Chargers are in the same exact scenario. They're both 8-7, and they play each other this week, so it's a massive game. The winner of this game will make the playoffs if the Titans beat the Texans. So both these two teams have a lot to play for still. Definitely have a chance to get the 7th seed, and they would face up with the Broncos in the first round. So I know a good chance to get some pride back for the division. That was a little more confusing than it usually is, the playoff scenario. But, it's just with 7 seeds, it's a lot more difficult than it tends to be. You wouldn't imagine how much more 1 seed would do it. Let's look into the schedule. Let me see. I already updated the app. Let me see here. Let me pull it back up so I can save everybody's records. And it's taking forever. The 13-2 Dolphins are playing the 14-1 Bills. First time these two teams played, the Bills won the game. I know that. It's one of the Dolphins' losses of the year. But the Dolphins have been rocking and rolling since they've really gotten everything going. I think that they're going to give the Bills some trouble here. The Bills struggled with the Patriots last week. They won in overtime, so I don't know what's going on in Buffalo right now. I'm going to take the Dolphins. They just seem very, very consistent. So I'm going to take the Dolphins to win this game and win the division. Next, you have the 13-2 Saints playing the 2-13 49ers. Not 49ers, excuse me, the Panthers. This game should be pretty cut and dry. I think Jimmy's going to dominate. Panthers turn the ball over a lot. They get sacked a lot. I just think he's not going to be able to have the offense. Next, you have the 2-12-1 Jags versus the 3-12 Colts. These two teams played Week 1. Colts dominated the game. Since then, the Colts have lost 12 straight games. They went up to 3-0 start and dropped 12 straight. Jags have been up and down, mostly down. They need to get things rolling back on the right. I think I'm going to take the Jaguars to win this game. Week 1 was different. They didn't really know what they had to do moving forward. I think they're going to get it done in victory this week. Next, we have the Titans and the Texans. Once again, the Titans 9-6. Texans are 8-6-1. 8-6-1. These two teams played once earlier this year, and the Texans won the game. Don't remember what week it was. Tuan has definitely been playing up and down. He hasn't been consistent at all, but we know that he can be a Super Bowl threat whenever he's playing at his top, at his best. It's going to be tough. It's gonna be tough. Texans got blown out by the Bengals last week, and really he could have stayed in the game. He just, he could not stop the Bengals offense. So I think Twan and the Titans are going to have a field day. I expect the Titans to win this game. Relatively high scoring game, probably something like 42 to 28. Next, we have the Bears and the Packers. Bears won 20 to 13 here. All 20 points coming in the second quarter. 7 Packers turnovers. Looks like it really caused defeat there. I'm looking at these third down conversions. It's pitiful. 0 third down conversions by the Bears. 1 by the Packers. That is absolutely horrific. Red zone percentage for the Bears, just 25%. 66 for the Packers. I don't know how on earth they won this game. It's got to be 75 penalty yards too. This is ridiculous. Let's see the total yards. 171 to 395. This has got to be pick sixes. That's my guess. Jaguars were marred by them last week as well versus the Bears. Trubisky goes 0 for touchdowns and 4 picks. He does 16.3 QBR. That's not good. Aaron Rodgers, ruined his chances of winning the best QB award. I think with this game with 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Cohen carried the ball 12 times for 58 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Jones 7 for 40 receiving. Equanimeous St. Brown with 9 for 135 and a score. Devontae Adams with 9 for 89 and a score. Even Valdez-Scantling got in there with 6 for 73. So the Packers were hitting their targets, passing to the Bears as well apparently. Only sack given up by right tackle for the Bears. Darnell Savage and Guidry led the game. Wow, Guidry had 3 picks. That is ridiculous. 126 return yards. Eddie Jackson also had 1 for 79. I'm betting 3 pick sixes. Looks like we got, wow, that is insane. Yeah, 2 defensive touchdowns and 2 field goals by the Bears. So absolutely no offense at all, but best offense is a great defense. Let's see here. Next, we have the Ravens and the Bengals. This game is for the division. I know the Bengals won the game earlier this year. He definitely looks a lot more consistent. The Ravens have been slowed down the past few weeks with good competition. I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game. His offense looks good. What did Quick say yesterday? He's in playoff mode. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game. Steelers and Browns, both these two teams 5-10. Steelers won the first matchup. I'm definitely rooting for the Steelers because I own the Browns' first-round draft pick. I don't think he's going to have enough offense to get it done. I think Leslie's going to come out and play well. I expect the Browns to win this game. Low-scoring affair, though. Next, we have the Vikings and the Lions. The Lions were eliminated when the Rams couldn't get it done versus the Seahawks last week. So this game is about pride, about finishing above 500 at 9-7. Vikings very, very bad this year. His record is 3-12, so I know that he definitely looking to finish strong with a win here. I'm going to take the Lions. He's definitely more consistent, doesn't turn the ball over as much, plays strong defense. This one, huge game, as we said. Both teams 8-7, Chargers and Chiefs. They played once earlier this year. I do not remember who won. Winner of this game has a chance to make the playoffs if Twan takes care of business in Houston this weekend. It's tough. The Chiefs just beat the Falcons last week, 38-14, which is ridiculous. The Chiefs also were the only team to beat Drop so far this year. See, he's very, very inconsistent because he can beat the best users in the league when he tries, but then he can also lose to people that he is not supposed to lose to. I think he just won big. He just played well. It was this morning. I think I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game and finish at 9-7. Jets, Patriots, the bottom feeders of that of that strong, tough AFC East. Pats won 34-7. Looks like he limited his turnovers, only 1-5 by the Jets. Yeah, Sam Darnold was horrific with 4 picks. Cam Newton did just enough, threw 2 touchdowns, 119 yards. James White had 3 carries for 113 yards and a touchdown, including a 76-yarder. Sony Michel with 19 for 92. Dalvin Cook didn't play. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what happened. Alexander Madison had 9 carries. I'm fucking tripping. Sorry. Madison usually plays for the Vikings. I saw his name and was still on the Vikings in their 3-12 record. Madison led the Jets with 9 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Denzel Mims, the rookie, with 5 for 61. James White with 2 for 51. Jonathan Jones led both teams in tackles with 10. Also came up with a sack. 2 picks by Stephen Gilmore and Devin McCourty each kind of won the game. Is what it looks like, the defense. Next, we have the Cowboys and Giants. Cowboys are taking a forced win in this game since the Giants are suspended for the final game of the season. Next, you have the Redskins at 8-7 playing the 7-8 Eagles. Eagles have been very, very bad in division play this year. I believe he's 1-4. Redskins 5-0. He's definitely taking care of business inside his own division. So I'm going to take the Redskins to win this game. I think he's going to come out. He limits his turnovers. He passes the ball well. Expect Haskins to have a big day. Next, we have the Falcons and the Bucks. The Falcons are 11-4. The Bucks 4-11. So I think this one should be pretty cut and dry. I think Falcons will definitely look to get back into playoff mode with a win here. So I would expect that. Next, you got the Raiders and Broncos. They already played 63-42. Absolutely no defense at all. Usually one of the better defensive users in the league, the Broncos is. Both QBs threw for over 300. Both QBs threw for 3 touchdowns. 5 picks by Carr. Looks like it kind of cost him the game. Melvin Gordon had 196 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. That is insane. DeAndre Washington with 116 and 2 scores. Receiving, Jerry Jeudy with 6 for 186 and 3 scores. Rico Gafford, 7 for 151. Henry Ruggs, 7 for 149. The two-headed monster combined 14 catches, 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the all about the speed over in Las Vegas. Defensive side of the ball, nothing too particular. This is probably a pick 6 by Justin Strnad. It was not, actually. Let's get down here. The final 2 games, both in the NFC West, both very important for 3 of the 4 teams involved here. Cardinals and Rams. These 2 teams have played once this year. I want to say that the Rams won that game. He had a very bad week last week against the Seahawks. He turned the ball over a lot. He wasn't consistent offensively. And the Cardinals have looked good this year. They're one of Savant's 2 losses. So I would take the Cardinals to win this game on the road in Los Angeles and send these Rams all the way back to the 7th seed. Next, you got the Seahawks and 49ers. This is the Seahawks division to win. All they need to do is come into San Francisco and take care of business. I know Raheem Mostert's trying to make a late push for MVP. He's going to need 500 yards and 7 touchdowns today to get there. So I know he's going to go for it. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win this game and take care of business. I'm going to take the Seahawks to take care of business and win this game. I think that's going to be it for the predictions video. Everybody make sure you're playing your games, and streaming all games this week should be streamed because they're all divisional games. Everybody have a good day.